Hi, June here. And have you ever felt like a failure? About anything, really. But today we're going to talk about something that's kind of light and fluffy. You know, not an important thing, even though this can apply to important things. But today we're going to talk about a work in progress that became a UFO about 2 years ago. I had knee surgery and I wanted some projects that I could do while I was, in bed recovering. And I decided to finish my mom's 35-year-old whip.
So here's a picture of my mom back in the 1980s when she first started this Afghan until her life really got busy and she had to put it aside. The project remained in storage for like 20 years until I picked it up one day and did a little bit on it, but I really didn't have any skill. More recently, I picked it up because I knew I was going to be spending some extra time down recovering from knee surgery. So I decided to get a head start on finishing it. And while I was laid up, I did indeed finish this Afghan. My Chihuahua Anakin was involved in every moment of making this Afghan. He was quite impatient to take a nap on it. So here is a shot of the Afghan, almost 40 years in the making. Now I can stop dating myself. I hope you enjoyed this reel as much as I enjoyed finishing this Afghan. Bye now. Now to mail it off to Mom.
After finishing it and mailing it off to her, I loved the stitch. I loved the way it was wavy and all of that. So I decided to get some, pretty, yarn and make myself one with that wavy stitch. I worked at it and I think I used an entire skein. Skein, tomato. The reason I quit working on it was kind of multifaceted. One, I was recovered enough to start filming again, making my videos. The stitches were too tight. It wasn't working up fast enough. I wasn't feeling encouraged to finish it. And also I needed a few things the crocheting was starting to hurt my hands and my, posture. It wasn't great. I didn't have things like this, my accommodations that would keep me making things. So anyway, that's ultimately why I quit, and those were good enough reasons, good and valid reasons for me. But the thing about this whip is that it felt like a deeper failure because over the years, I've picked up and dropped crochet. Never really made any headway. Maybe I needed to know some more about it. Maybe I just needed to use more kinds of yarn. I needed something that would work up quickly, to keep me encouraged. But this particular project, I went into it with determination. I was gonna do this and conquer this and finish this, and it just kind of petered out, and I was always disappointed, and I felt like a failure. So every time I was crafting in my studio or doing something else, even if I looked at another skein of yarn, I'd have, but you gotta finish that first. But you gotta finish that first. It's just kind of always lingering in the background, like a bad dream. So I had decided recently, after I made a few, crochet objects, I was going, well, this yarn is difficult to work with. Hurts my hands, maybe I'll just frog it and donate it. That seemed like, that way I would at least have it off my distant to-do list, and that at least it would feel like I had done something with it, So that was my plan, except roving yarn is actually really hard to really hard to frog. Really hard to frog. Anyway, it kind of dug at me that I was, giving up on this project. But oh boy, I spent a decent amount of money on this yarn, and even though I can get it on sale, I don't buy yarn when it is on sale. But anyway, I even bought extra skeins of it to like finish the blanket, So literally days before I had decided to frog it and donate it, I looked around on the internet and I saw a few videos that were specifically for using this yarn. And I'm going, oh, well, what the heck? Maybe I can, And while I didn't like the items that they made with them, one thing that stuck out to me is that they didn't use the crochet hook that the label recommended. They used one significantly bigger. And I'm going, wheels are turning in my broken brain. And I'm going, well, maybe I'll do one of those shawls. They say you can use any yarn, and I'll use this hook. So I got into one of the unused skeins, and the rest is history. And my failure, well, see for yourself.
So I had this furry Huga yarn in my stash. I've had it for like, 10, 15 years. So I decided to do some trimming out in that. And then, of course, I needed a hood, but I wanted a really deep one, and that pattern I've used many times. So I started making the hood to go with it. And I still have to do some seaming work and trim it out in fur. Now I think I'm attaching the hood here. Yeah, attaching the hood. I had done an early reveal back in December, but this is how it turned out.
No snow though. If you were expecting snow by this outfit, no. If we get snow, which we usually do after the first of the year, then I will, film. It's actually March, believe it or not. January and February were unseasonably warm, and then finally March comes in like a lion, I guess. This is what that means. Yeah, so anyway. And I can even put this on top of it. It actually isn't very cold out here at all. One of the things I think that really helped in actually completing this project is that when I started crocheting again, well, one, I made myself some accommodations, you know, to make, you know, it not as painful. I completed a few projects first, you know, and that kind of helped me be encouraged to finish the next project. So I didn't have to start out of the gates with this project that I wasn't looking forward to it. I was kind of dreading it, you know. I just kind of built up my confidence with other things that were easy. It also helped watching a few crochet channels. One of my favorites is Shannon Talks Yarn, and she's very encouraging. She really is. You know, I needed to not work on this project, the Scarfy Yarn project, first. I needed to work on something that I really wanted to work on, something that was pretty. But I was still kind of intimidated by this yarn. I didn't want this yarn to be the reason I quit crocheting again, like it had been 2 years ago. So I had to choose a pattern. I had to be careful about the pattern I chose. I had to make sure it was easy, that I could use any yarn, and that would work up quickly. And it was a complete success. I am very pleased with it. I love it. I'm looking at it now. It's behind the camera, and I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. Using this hook, oh boy, my hands did not cramp. This one, it was like working on an amigurumi. The stitches were so tight and I was so tense, and yeah. Are you enjoying your retirement, Anakin? He goes, I'm cold out here. This is not part of the agreement. I get to retire and stuff. And yeah, let's go inside.
It had been a very mild winter, and I was hoping that it would snow because when Thorn was a puppy, he absolutely loved it, and here he is, just loving it again.
You're such a good... Oh, you funny boy. Funny boy. Funny boy. Yeah. The snow. The snow. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Mom, I love it out here when it snows. I should have brought your coat. Should have brought your coat. Put your coat on you, Annie. Goes, yeah, Mom, pick me up. I don't think I can make it all the way back to in the snow.
Now we're all nice and warm back inside, snuggling up to our rice packs and sleeping really hard. You're not tired unless you're this dog tired.
So what do you think? First time around, yeah, I failed for certain. But sometimes you have to cut your losses, or in the words of Elsa, let it go. You know, echoing the sage advice of a well-known poet and king, who wrote, well, let me look that up. There is an appointed time for everything, a time for every activity under the heavens, a time to rip apart and a time to sew together. So, yeah, I kind of, took that advice, and I feel really good now. Not a failure. I feel like I succeeded in a project, and that's a wonderful feeling. If you've had a similar experience, something you feel like you failed in, big or small, it might be time to frog that yarn, so to speak. I mean, it may be a literal crochet or knitting project, but this can apply to so many things in life. And sometimes it is just time to throw stones away or let it go, so that it's not there reminding you all the time that it's something that you failed at. Or, like I did, give that thing another chance, whatever that thing is. And maybe after a little time, because it had been like 2 years since I had worked with this yarn, but maybe you do need a break, whatever it is you're doing, and just set it aside and then pick it up again later and try again. And maybe you don't finish it and you have to donate it, but maybe you can make something that you really love, which is a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. And while donating something, there will be this little bit of disappointment. It's fleeting, and you can move on to the next thing that you want to accomplish. I hope you found this video encouraging and helpful. And if you did, then share it with somebody else that you think needs that little shot in the arm and push. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. This is Mountain June saying bye now.
I know I haven't uploaded in a while, and no, it wasn't because I was waiting for snow for this reveal. It's because I've been suffering burnout. I've never made a dime with YouTube, so the 3 years that I've been trying to make this my career, it hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen, so I've been re-diverting my energies elsewhere. But making videos is such a big part of my life that I just can't seem to let it go.